It's just finished. West Ham United 0, Chelsea 3 at the London Stadium. This is my review of the game. When managers go into a new club, they tend to go through what is called a honeymoon period. They win a few games as an upturn. Now, that's usually attributed to managers who join midway through the season. The honeymoon period. This guy's honeymoon period was a draw against Ferencvaros and a win against Dagenham Redbridge in pre-season. 2 games this guy's honeymoon period lasted. That was an absolute shambles from West Ham out there, from Lopetegui and the players involved. Absolute shambles from start to finish. It got to that point by the 50th minute. I was hoping we were going to cling on to a 3-0 defeat because the only thing I was confident on happening was Chelsea going on and scoring again. I got that wrong as well. Horrible today, absolutely horrible. So far this season, I've been pretty calm. Games that we've lost, I've been calm. Games that we won, I've been calm. Games that we drew, I've been calm because there's mitigating factors for it all. Well, those are gone. There's none of that today whatsoever. New manager, fuck off. So is Maresca. New players, so is Chelsea. New tactics, so is Chelsea. There's none of that. The first few games of this season, it's transfer window time. It's uncertain. Fulham last week, it was an international break. Half the players, well, the attacking players anyway, were gone. He didn't have long with them. Fair enough. There's reasons for poor performances so far. Today, there's none of that. There's no applicable excuse for today. Those who look comparing results to previous seasons. I personally don't. However, it's been done a lot in the last week because we were 3 points up. Well, we won this game last season. Not just that, Chelsea have won once in 7 visits to the London Stadium before today. So regardless of what you want, it doesn't look good. The first manager to lose his first 3 home games as a West Ham manager. This is Chelsea. This game should be a big game for us. There was nothing out there today that I liked at all. A little bit at the end of the first half. It was 2-0 Chelsea. It wasn't because we suddenly turned good. It's because Chelsea sat back and thought, you know what? If we sit back and absorb pressure and we win the ball and counter-attack them, it's 3-on-3, 4-on-4. That was crap today. I'm not having any excuses for today's performance from anyone whatsoever. Now, the gaffer is jumping up and down, ranting and raving and stormed off at full time. Well, do you know what? I completely understand. The big difference is you're the one that did this. This is your team. And I already know some people say, well, this is 11 the majority of West Ham fans wanted to see. And I would agree. Bar Tadibo Mavropanos, I think the most popular pick for today's game had most of these players involved. However, I did not see one person say, can I have Edson Alvarez splitting the defence and marking Nicolas Jackson, please? I would love to see Alvarez racing against Jackson in a race. Not one West Ham fan said that at all. It was bad today. The more the game went on, the more I got wound up, even though there was no goals coming. The last 15 minutes of the game, Chelsea were taking the piss out of us at the London Stadium. This is meant to be our home ground. They were just passing it around, doing flex. It was training and exercise stuff for Chelsea. They took the piss out of us today. I don't like it when teams do that because that is something you allow to happen. There's no aggression. There's no getting in someone's face. Edson Alvarez did it to Cole Palmer. Got a yellow card for it. But it was almost like he was offended that Chelsea were taking the piss. Those guys at the end did not care. They didn't give a fuck. I'm angry watching that game and that performance because so far, and this can't be chalked down as a bad day at the office. It'll be all right next week. It can't be because we've not been good in any game this season. The best performance we've put in is when we got beat by Manchester City. I know it's early days in the manager's reign, but like I said, it's early days in Maresca's reign. He seems to have had his team playing really well. So why is our manager not doing it? Today, tactically, god-awful. The decision to have Alvarez splitting the centre-backs was horrific. Really, really bad. And he's ranting and raving. And when you have to do a sub, I thought having to do a sub at half-time last week was bad, admitting that you've got it wrong. When you've got to do a sub at 35 minutes and bring on Thomas Souček to save your arse, you know you fucked up. Anyway, mini rant over. I am not happy about this at all. Sometimes I quite like the early kickoff on Saturday, over and done with, work over and done with. I can go watch the 3 o'clock game, 5:30 game, just ruin the rest of the day now. Absolute shite from Lopetegui and shite from most of the players involved today. Very few of them put in a decent performance. a low bar. And I'll tell you what, actually, the one guy that I thought was decent got fucking hooked early on in the second half in Summerville. I thought he was the one player that looked quite bright. Nah, he goes off because, I know, hierarchy at the club. You can't take off Bowen, Caduce or Paqueta. You're not allowed to bring those ones off. It's got to be Summerville just because it has to be Summerville. Shite. Anyway, it was 1-0. It was 1-0 after 3 minutes. Barely got comfortable. Right, to calm down. If you're new around here, please subscribe and drop a like on the video by clicking thumbs up so there's something fucking positive from today for me. But after 3 minutes, but this is just how crap the players' attitude were. 3 minutes into the game, they're all just watching. The free kick gets given because, and this is going to be a weird way of describing our press, but hopefully it makes sense. It was aggressive, but not aggressive. We were pushing up, but we weren't tackling. We were chasing shadows, so much so that it was causing us problems. Our press was high up the pitch, and it felt aggressive because we were almost going man-to-man with them. The problem was we were going wrong man-to-man. Caduce was on Colwell. Caduce was trying to get him, which meant Wan-Bissaka had to come down the line and take Cucurella, which meant that either Mavropanos had to come over to Sancho, but if Jackson came over to Mavropanos, he had him. Sancho was free. Alvarez was having to come over. The man marking down that side, that press down that side was horrific, and it caused us problems. Jackson drops in. Mavropanos, we know, cannot deal with strikers dropping off. He can't do it. Mavropanos' biggest weakness, in my opinion, is dropping off, dropping deep. Strikers dropping deep. He doesn't know when to go, when to sit back, and if he does go, he's like there's almost like a second lag on him. It's like he's a bit behind the play. But anyway, he gives away the free kick. We've sat off. Quick 1-2 with Fernandez, essentially. Then he gives it to Sancho and gives it back to him. When Jackson receives the ball, it's not danger. It's a small problem. It's not a danger, providing everybody gets back and does their job. Alvarez, bless him, is busting an ass. He's just way too slow. Way too slow. So now you're seeing we're decided to play a high line with Alvarez splitting our centre-backs, being a man in the middle, but also not being able to keep up with the guy he's going to be running against. That makes sense, doesn't it? Anyway, Jackson runs down and just continues to cut in field because he's so much faster than Alvarez. He's now created all this room for himself. While that's happening, Mavropanos is just jogging back. He's just jogging back, watching Alvarez get done. And it's poor keeping as well. He just slips it between Areola's legs at the front post. It's really good play by Jackson, just horrific by West Ham. And it didn't really get much better, to be honest with you. After 18 minutes, it was 2-0. I'm just checking what time he made it 2-0. 18 minutes, 2-0, Alvarez again. And it's the same problem. This time, Mavropanos steps out. It leaves Jackson with Alvarez, or Alvarez with Jackson. Jackson takes one step deep. He drops back 1 yard. Caicedo gets it. Bang. He's away. Jackson's away. Alvarez can't keep up with him again. Kilman can't get across in time. It's a really good finish by Jackson, but it's just horrendous defending from us. There's no excusing the decision-making of some of our players and then the lack of effort from some of our players. And sometimes it's the same player doing both things. Just dreadful. And we were getting ripped apart in that first 20 minutes. He makes a substitution eventually. Weirdly, I thought we were starting to get into the game when he does the sub. So I thought we were... But like I said, it's circumstantial. We're 2-0 up. Chelsea are naturally going to start dropping a little bit deeper, tightening that defence, but also then inviting us onto them so they can counter-attack. Why would you not want to counter-attack West Ham? In the second half, consistently, it was 3-on-3. While Chelsea had the ball running out of defence, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, whatever. It was even numbers. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. But we got on top in the first half for the last 10, 15 minutes. Caduce had a goal disallowed. No complaints. However, that penalty, right? I've had a few complaints regarding the game. That is a pen as far as I'm concerned, and there's no debate about it with me. No one's going to convince me it's not a penalty. Fleeting, that's the stupid word that they used, wasn't it? It was fleeting contact. Well, hang on a minute. Fleeting, he's got a hold of his arm for a few seconds, which is a long time in football. It's the when in the same voice the commentator says, hey, the foul started outside the box and continued. Well, that just shows how long he's holding on to him for. If it's 5 yards between the foul beginning and ending, it's a few yards. Few seconds, it's a pen as far as I'm concerned. And I know VAR don't want to get involved as much this season, but how far are you going to go? How far are you going? Does someone need to break their leg before you go? I think he might have got that one wrong, ref. His leg's in 2 pieces. You might want to go check that one. That's a pen as far as I'm concerned. Would it have changed the nature of the game? Do you know what? I think it would have. At 2-1, it's a completely different game from then on. But it doesn't excuse everything I've just discussed, and I will discuss. I just think it was a penalty for West Ham. I get why the referee's not giving it. When you see the referee's position, Fofana is between him and Summerville, so you can't see the whole contact by Fofana on Summerville. But this is why VAR was introduced for basically. I know the reasoning is clear and obvious, but you want to break it down. It's to give the referee alternative angles as to which he hasn't seen. Things like that, I think it's important the referee gets to decide if that's a pen or not. For the VAR guy, Stuart Atwell, to go, no, that's not a pen. Fleeting contact. Oh, fuck off, man. Honestly. Fleeting. Fofana got booked for fouling Summerville later on. And I think it was a free kick, and I think it was a yellow card. There was less contact then. It's just bollocks. Anyway, half-time, they came out in the second half, and it was, what was it, 2 minutes? Did we make it? Did we manage to get to 2 minutes? What was it, 47 minutes? Yeah, so we got 2 minutes in. Then it was 3-0 and game over. Cole Palmer, a break. Mavropanos again dropping deep on Jackson this time, but I think he wins the ball, to be fair, Mavropanos. I think he gets his foot to it. It's just that Fernandez possibly is stronger, more determined, gets to it, puts Paqueta on his arse, gives it back, and Chelsea are now running at us 2-on-2. Palmer, Jackson's running directly at Kilman, and Palmer's running directly at Emerson, 2-on-2. But Palmer does something clever. He goes behind Jackson from his right-hand side over to his left-hand side. Emerson decides the best thing to do in this situation is to continue running backwards, chasing nobody, defending against nobody, and let Cole Palmer go to the other side of Kilman where there's no West Ham player, because that's a good idea. And Jackson, good layoff, fantastic finish by Cole Palmer, but it's just stupid defending from us. Emerson should be coming over a couple of yards and pushing Kilman. As soon as Palmer moves, Emerson has to come and double up with Kilman until Palmer is going beyond Jackson, and Kilman moves over and takes Cole Palmer, and Emerson's now on Jackson. But Emerson decides he's just going to run backwards in a straight line. I mean, I don't even know what he's planning, Emerson. I don't know what he's doing. I think unless he's hoping there's a rebound and he's going to pick the rebound up, I think that's a big gamble, in fairness. I think that's a bold decision as a defender. I think you're better off preventing the shot in the first place. But what do I know? I'm just a gobby Scotsman on a webcam. Speaking of Scotsman, that defending today was worse than anything I've seen under David Moyes. Generally, I've tried not to mention David Moyes much since he left. I haven't done any videos about him. I try not to refer to him too much, but I'm going to naturally. But I still refer to Pellegrini, Allardyce, Bilic. I still speak about previous managers. I've just tried to make a conscious effort of not speaking about David Moyes very much. But today, that was worse than what I've seen under David Moyes defensively. I genuinely believe that. Every time Chelsea got the ball, it was a 3-on-3, 4-on-4 attack, and it was only 3. I can't believe I'm saying this. It was only 3-0. But on another day, that's 5 or 6. You know, Areola made an incredible save from Nkunku. Chelsea should have had more than 3 today. We were lucky to only concede 3. We got absolutely battered. We made substitutions in the second half. Made fuck all difference, but we made them. Antonio came on, got booked. Soler came on, got booked. Creswell came on. Do you know something? Thought he was all right, Creswell. Wildly. Best pass of the game. Aaron Creswell, that cross in, that Bowen and someone else nearly got an end of. Fantastic. Bit concerned when the sub was made. I thought, oh, so we're struggling against pace. Chelsea's pace are doing us on the counter-attack, so we're going to bring on Aaron Cresswell. That sounds like a good plan to me, doesn't it? Bring on the slowest defender against a team that is annihilating us with speed. Yep, that makes sense, doesn't it? And a couple of times I thought he got done for pace, but I actually thought he did okay in possession. However, I'm a little bit biased about Aaron Cresswell. Irving came on, had a dig from distance. Didn't embarrass himself, to be fair. But my point was the game was done and the subs just made no impact at all. It was just substitutions for the sake of substitutions. He had to take Alvarez off because he was on a booking and still kicking Cole Palmer. Paqueta wasn't playing very well and decided that he was just going to start arguing with Enzo Fernandez for 10, 15 minutes of the game. Bowen was anonymous up front again. Kudus was doing all right on the right in spells, decided, no, can't have that. Let's put him on the left and take him out of the game completely because Kudus looks like he could do something. We can't be having that. Getting back on the left-hand side. Just strange. The way we approached the game was bonkers. The substitutions didn't really make sense. The way we continued throughout the game didn't make sense. I'm not happy with what I've seen at all today. I'm really not happy. I'm not. Today was bad. It was really bad. I was genuinely angry watching that because, and I think Lopetegui angry made me angry because he was having tantrums. I thought, well, you're the one that can fucking sort this. It's your tactical decisions. And he was getting, and listen, the players weren't good today. It's not just Lopetegui, it's the players as well. But I can't help but think everything came off the back of our tactical decision in the first 20, 25 minutes, which was Alvarez dropping in and splitting our defence. And from that, it caused all sorts of problems and all sorts of opportunity for Chelsea. Nicolas Jackson must have thought it was his fucking birthday or something, the gift that West Ham gave him today. It was just dreadful from start to finish. I'm not happy. I'm really not happy at all. And I know, like I said, I get it. This is a review of the game. This isn't a review of Lopetegui. But the problem is, so far, what's that, 6 games in now? There's nothing. There's very little. Even the defence. I've never been convinced that we'd sorted the defence out. When it was, we've got 2 clean sheets, that was good. But we'd still conceded, at that point, the second most shots from inside the 18-yarder in the league. There was only one team worse than us. We just, in one of those clean sheets, we're in the cup against a crap Bournemouth as well. But the defence has been shaky. I feel like we've got away with it a little bit so far this season. And the worst thing is, I feel like we got away with it today. We got beat 3-0 and I still feel like we got off with one. It could have been 5. The player performances, crap. Nearly every single one of them. Areola easily beaten for his first one, but made a really good save. Wan-Bissaka, dreadful. Positioning, dreadful. Didn't work hard enough. In possession, his positioning, again, I think it was tactical. Horrific. Mavropanos, rubbish. Kilman, his worst game in a West Ham shirt today. Emerson, didn't notice him. Good or bad, didn't notice him. Midfield, less said the better. Could have just looked good in the first half. And the thing is, I genuinely thought Summerville looked bright. I thought Summerville was looking like one of our better players, and he gets subbed off. So the one thing that I was enjoying was removed from the pitch. And then we decided to go and shackle and kill Kudus over on the left-hand side. I don't get it. This is the worst thing. Sometimes I understand why the manager does things. I might not agree with it, but I get it. Like Mavropanos starting over Todibo, I get it. I would have preferred Todibo, but I get it. But the way we went around our tactics today, the subs, taking Summerville off, I'm afraid. I just don't get it. Last week, we came away with a draw against Fulham. It felt like we got off with it. We robbed them a little bit. More questions and answers, that kind of thing. Today, Jesus, I think we got a lot of answers, but the problem is, it's not the ones we want, and they're bad. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and disappear and wait to watch the football. Hopefully relax a little bit, but unlikely. That's genuinely rattled me today, that performance has. Not good. Not good at all. the manager's going to stomp and he's going to wave his arms. And I know fine what he's going to say. I already know what Lopetegui's going to say post-match. We weren't good enough. The players weren't good enough. They didn't do as they were told. It's everybody's fault. I'll be surprised if he takes accountability for this, but he bloody better, because yes, the players were bad. The players were not good today. But it all came, in my opinion, all came from the tactics from the very start of that game. We were 1-0 down after 3 minutes. Not good enough. I'll be live tomorrow, 9 a.m, Sunday morning. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m, I'll be live. I'll be taking everybody's comments in the live chat. So if you're around tomorrow, come and join me. I'll be intrigued to see what everybody else thinks. I'll be calmer. I'll take a calmer outlook at the game. Everybody get involved in live chat. But please do drop a like on this video. Subscribe to Ham Chat, and I'll catch you tomorrow.